Hey, what's up, man?
What up, man?
Nothing much. I think it's good that we're going to start doing these videos on a higher frequency.
Yeah, a little bit more regularly.
But
Yeah.
I heard some pretty interesting news today. Is Twitter? They're going to, or actually Twitch. They're going to
Twitch,
start
yeah.
cutting into the user funds. Did I title the video right?
Um, Let me actually double, let me double check that. It's a good question. Um, that is
I
a
might have put
good.
Twitter, but yeah,
Let's
man.
see.
What do you think about that? Like, it seems like a lot of these content creators are slowly seeing their revenue decrease.
Um, like what I look at it like this. Like it's bound to happen one way or another. Like
Yeah,
you can't sustain like yesterday we talked about maybe not yesterday, but the last podcast we talked about growth, right? Like, at a certain point you're going to reach the ceiling. So like if Twitch is to grow, right? Twitch is growing, and then eventually they realize, okay, the numbers are like this is our peak. We can't seem to break whatever consecutive views a month. If they can't seem to break that, right, and they keep bringing on people, right? They keep bringing on partners and stuff. There's not going to be enough pie to go around. Twitch is
right,
already taking a cut at 30% and giving 70% to the streamer. With more streamers hopping on, I would think that uh, you know, they're gonna want more of the cut to survive. You know,
right. I think you know, the real issue though is, do you really want to cut into your greatest audience? I mean, your greatest revenue generators. Like, it's kind of like the NBA saying, "Hey, we're going to give the players a 20% pay cut."
right?
Like,
Yeah, 20% is
what,
brutal
what's
because we're going down from what 70% to 50 or
70 to 50, and yeah, just to correct the title, it's Twitch. But
okay.
yeah, that's a significant difference.
Yeah,
Like 20 percentage points. That's a huge difference.
yeah.
So
I would
before, whereas you were making $70, now you're making 50.
be making $50. Yeah, but I feel like as a content creator, you are not tied to just one platform. Maybe
Yeah,
because of like Twitch's not NDAs, but like they have. I know Twitch has agreements where they prevent you from streaming on other platforms like YouTube and stuff. But I would also think that I don't think that goes into like not being able to have clips and stuff on other platforms, right?
hmm.
Like
Is that like a legally binding thing? Like, do you have to sign some contract with them? Like, you're a big streamer, or say if we wanted to stream this on Twitter right
no, I
now,
believe
we'd be on Twitch.
when you are when you are partnered with Twitch, you are bound to them. Like
Okay,
you can't stream on YouTube or any other website that
yeah,
could potentially be streaming. Like you have to stream solely through them. So um, it's almost like golden handcuffs, right? Like you're making money, but then if
yeah,
anything happens to Twitch, like
yeah. You're done for.
you're done for. Like
It's kind of
take
like that Microsoft platform. Then somebody leave like Twitch and
Ninja,
join
yeah,
what was the name of that platform? Like the
Mixer.
Mixer or something?
It was
Oh,
called
okay.
Mixer. Yeah, it was a big thing because like I think Ninja at the time was probably one of the biggest streamers on that platform, and then Microsoft paid him like some crazy amount of money
Yeah,
for him to join over to their platform. But that's the thing, right? Like where if you like yeah, there's we these large platforms need competition, but um, you can't expect to just buy people and bring them over and then
yeah.
eventually they'll make your platform great. Like you have to have a great platform in order for people to want to switch over. Like
Yeah, people are kind of getting fatigued with all of the, like say like Steam, Epic Game Stores. Like they don't want to be on like five different platforms that does the same thing. Like,
yeah, yeah.
why go over here if all the other guys are on, Twitch? Like,
Hmm.
I'll just forego his content and watch somebody else.
Yep. Yep. Like, okay, well, Ninja's gone. All right. Well, let me just watch somebody else. And then look what happened. Like Mixer's no more. Mixer
Yeah,
collapsed or whatever, and then he, I think Ninja's back on Twitch now.
you're right.
So yeah, man, at the end of the day, it's
So,
all about money.
so if you was in Ninja's position to have taken a Microsoft deal, would you have taken it? Like, listen, let me look up what he actually
That's a pretty penny. I wouldn't bat an eye towards it. I would probably take it. I would probably take it.
30 million. I think he earned Ninja reportedly earned as much as 30 million from the Mixer deal. Yeah, I would too. Like, if you get your money up front, you know,
Yeah.
why not? As opposed to earning maybe like 5 or 6 million a year on Twitch, get your 30 million, and then if that falls off, you go back to Twitch like he did. His audience might not be as big, but he got enough money to where he doesn't have to ever really work if he doesn't want to.
Yeah. That's the thing about knowing your worth and knowing your value. Like as a person, like you need to know your worth, right? Like meaning like it, Ninja is a brand. Like he's got sponsor deals with like Red Bull, and he's got like books and Barnes and Noble, and like kids know his name and his face and stuff. He's a brand, and uh, and it doesn't matter like what platform he's on. Ninja is Ninja. Like that's him. Like that's his brand.
Yeah,
Like he can monetize it as much as he wants.
exactly. And that's a thing that a lot of people have to understand when what they posting what they post online. Like you're not just you're also a potential brand. Like right now we
Right.
don't have a bunch of traction, but say this show just takes off. You know, all the stuff
Yeah.
that we're saying, the things that we're doing, is going to come and reflect on us eventually. So
Right.
you kind of have to watch what you're doing online.
Right. Watch what you're doing. Watch what you're saying. Yeah. You got to be careful.
And
Yeah.
wasn't there another platform that's kind of cutting back on their content creators?
Um. Was it? I know YouTube was. Well, YouTube isn't cutting back, but they're introducing ads into the
Yeah.
shorts space, and I think that's just it. That might just be to incentivize more people
Mm,
to use shorts, right? Because
yeah.
they're fighting
TikTok.
TikTok essentially, right? It's
Yeah,
like
that's kind of inevitable, man. Like if it's free, sooner or later they're gonna introduce ads. Like
yeah,
they might initially say, well, we're just gonna, well, they're not gonna tell you, but they're selling your data, right? That's how
yeah,
they give it to you for so-called free. But once they gain enough traction, it's like, okay, now we're gonna slip ads in.
yeah,
It
yeah.
seems like ads are inevitable, man. Like even
Of course.
like Sony and Microsoft, they want to introduce ads into their games.
And who else? Dang, who just? Oh, Netflix. I heard Netflix is about to start introducing ads into their platform.
Oh,
Um,
into that paid stuff, like the subscription stuff.
I think so.
Whatever they're really about to tank. Like, why, that's why people sign up for Netflix. They don't have to be harassed by ads. So,
Yeah, yeah, man. That's the thing. Like, eventually you'll get to a point where like everything is like regardless of if you're paying for it, you still get ads.
yeah,
Like, and they'll just upsell you to like, oh, you don't like ads? Okay, pay even more. It's like, dude,
yeah,
like you're essentially creating a problem and then having a solution already prepared for it to provide a solution. That isn't even a solution to begin with.
yeah,
But uh, you know, uh, at the end of the day, these companies have to make money. Like they have to make money. It's not you just turn it on and just leave it running. Like the bills have to be paid, people have to get paid and stuff. So I can see the whole point of like, hey, we need to make money, but I feel like a lot of these companies they push and they push and they push, and
yeah.
just to see how much they can actually make off of the individual consumer.
Yep, they push everybody to their limits until people feel so harassed by the ads and all that. Like, I'm gonna stop coming here.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
so it's the same formula almost all the time. Like initially everything's cool. Like, oh, I'm getting this for free.
Mm-hmm.
Then they introduce like maybe one short ad. Then the
Yep.
ad goes from like 5 to 20 seconds. And they introduce two
Yep.
ads. It keeps going on, man.
Yep. Yeah. They mean that they have to get paid. They have to get paid, and then also like the I like to look at it like this: like major brands, that these brands that are advertising to the youth or to us, uh, they paid a pretty penny to get put onto TV, right? But no one's
Yeah.
watching TV anymore. Like no one's, or like, I wouldn't say no one's watching TV, but like I don't have a cable subscription, and I think the only person that I know that has a cable subscription is like older people, and maybe my grandma. But like
Yeah.
that's just because she doesn't stream like that, right? So um, I think the cable networks are realizing that the future is like online. That's why all these streaming services are coming out, and they're trying to still advertise to people that they want people to see their product and buy their product.
Yeah, and just from another angle, I think it just shows the volatility of being a content creator. If that's like your sole source of income. Like for Twitch to be able to say, okay, you were getting 70 before, now you get
Hmm.
50,
Yeah,
and just on the whim, it's like how much control do you really have? Like your job can't even really do that to you. Like
yeah,
you can't, your
yeah.
boss can't like, you're making 50,000 this year.
Right, okay, I know you're making 70,000 this year, but next year you're gonna be down to 60,000, and we're
Yeah,
just gonna keep chipping away until um we can see how much how cheap we can pay you for.
right.
Um, what was I gonna say?
I think that's why it's key to leverage this into multiple streams of income. Like if you're going to do this, have leverage it, like maybe sell some T-shirts or
Right,
do something other than just try to profit off of the
try
actual
to profit off of
platform.
that one thing. It was a point that I was gonna make. It was man, just slipped my mind. It had to do with it's like get in and realize that the money is not gonna always be there,
Yeah,
because if anything happens to Twitch, like where would you go? Like okay, you jump
yeah,
over to YouTube, okay, cool, but then like now now like it's almost like a, I guess, yeah, there's I could see there being like fail safes, like okay, if Twitch went down, Twitch is gone, then like you have to hope that enough people followed you on Twitter so you could try to like
mhm,
carry your people over from, hey, I'm switching over to YouTube, but you need to be able to reach those people, right? Okay, I'm gonna put out a tweet like, hey, Twitch is down, let me jump over to YouTube, right? Then if
yeah,
YouTube goes down, or like if there's no streaming platforms, they just go poof. You gotta have that backup plan. Like you can't stream
yeah,
forever, and you
yeah.
can't
There
game
you go.
forever either.
I think it's true for everything. Streaming and just even your job, for example. You can't just be like, okay, say for example, an Angular developer. What if Angular goes out of fashion? Now
Yeah.
you're screwed unless you can pick up something else really quick.
Hmm.
So yeah, not we're kind of in an age where you can't just rely on one income stream. You have to have that multiple source of income just to because everything is so turbulent and unstable and things are so expensive. It's like if one goes away, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Do you think that like for example, like these content creators that their salaries are being cut from 70 to 50, do you think it's possible that it'll revert back to the way it was?
I think if there's a lot of kickback, if there's a lot of content creators leaving, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because do they have any real alternative platform? If they say, "Oh no, we're going to YouTube," maybe YouTube.
I mean, YouTube,
That's oh
maybe.
good.
I
Yeah,
would assume that they would take a cut still.
there's this kind of a huge opportunity for some other platforms to pick up some of Twitch's top streamers. Like you, you can't just cut like your star, your star player salary 20% or whatever, and he's cool with that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, there might be kickback, but
yeah,
then
oh, there will be.
I would assume that like maybe like top streamers might not be affected, but like a lot of smaller streamers that are
Yeah,
trying to get into the game might get affected. Like that might
yeah,
turn things off.
exactly. I think it's kind of like how it is now with like the government. It's always the middleman, the middle class, the person in the middle that gets crunched. Like
Yeah,
the top guys, they threaten to leave. Okay, now we'll leave you where you're at, but everybody that comes on the platform now,
right.
y'all only get 50. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. And then yeah, a similar thing happened with OnlyFans, right? When OnlyFans threatened to purge, all the adult content off their platform
Mhm.
when they were, trying to, I guess, find investors and stuff, and try to
Yeah.
pitch to investors and like clean up their name. There was so much like blowback from
Mhm.
all those like content creators that were just like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? They were like freaking out and stuff. But I, I feel like when it comes to that type of situation, when you want to like clean your name of something, like you need to like have the foresight of like
Yeah.
of if you're going to allow this type of content, there has to be some type of like either alternative website or something that's like completely separate. Like this version of the like it could be this website, but
Mhm.
like slash dark, and then that's your adult version of your website, and then people just if they want to see that content, they go to this version of the website. It's technically the same thing, but you don't
Yeah.
allow one version of the content on the safe for work. It's like YouTube and YouTube Kids.
Right. Yeah. I think the problem with them is that was their bread and butter. That's why people went on there in the first place. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like when you think of that site, that's what you think of. You don't think
right.
of creators just sharing exclusive like clips of them fishing or something
Yep.
like.
Yep. Exactly.
So when they wiped that out, that would have wiped out their platform. So that's pretty much why they reverted it. It's kind of like the mistake Twitch is gonna make if they start taxing their top people.
It's just
Like,
gonna make an opportunity for somebody else to come in
yeah,
and offer a better deal. Yep.
and that's how I always think. Like, new companies can get a good start. Like, okay, these big boys they want to, you know, start squeezing everybody. Let me provide a platform where they get a bigger share, and then they
Yep.
start pulling in those people.
Yep. But then like it also comes down to like how does a big platform survive if it doesn't squeeze money out of their biggest creators, right? Because like the like you have a platform to try and support and try to upkeep, but how do you keep it up with by keeping things cheap?
So I think it's kind of like like the NFL or NBA where they get more lucrative broadcasting deals. I don't know how that would work online, but they would have to think of alternative ways of generating revenue. It's not just streaming anymore. It's selling merchandise or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like maybe make a more fluid way of working with advertisers. Okay, you hit a million streamers. You could go to this menu and look at this big field of advertisers that you could pick products of theirs to advertise, something like that, or you could pick
Hmm.
which advertisements you want on your platform. Like make that process easier.
Right.
Like instead of like say we have a million
Yeah.
viewers, instead of us having to go or our manager having to go out and meet up with some company, build that into the interface of the actual inside of actual Twitch.
Yeah. And then I also heard that like they're not just cutting the income, they're also I think they're doubling up on ads where
Oh,
like let me double check that. Hold on. Let's say blah, I think are they doubling up on ads? I could be wrong. Hold on.
Yeah, they're really seeking to tank their platform.
It says shopping be rough year. Content creators and sellers trying to make living through their tech platform. Sellers on Amazon and Etsy are already facing increased fees. Now, new pay cuts may reportedly make their way to Twitch. Claims they want to incentivize streamers to run more ads, in addition to considering reducing the portion of subscription fees allocated to performers. More specifically, the site's top streamers would reportedly see their share of subscription dip down from 70 to 50%.
Wow.
The company is also considering introducing multiple pay tiers with different criteria required. All told, these changes are intended to boost profitability. Oh, yeah. So this is to offset. Okay, we were painting a pretty bad picture, but now that I'm reading this, like again, it seems like they're offering um the ability, like different tiers to pay. So like even though um claims they want to incentivize streamers to run more. The only thing that's probably going to be bad is like they're going to run more ads. Like they're incentivizing, they're like pushing people to run more ads. And the way that Twitch's website works, like ad blockers don't work because they've integrated. I don't know how they've done it. They're pretty smart, but
Mhm.
they've integrated ads into the stream,
Right.
so they can not interrupt, but I guess they could just overlap, or maybe they interrupt the stream and just play ads through that feed.
Yeah.
Um, but it seems like the way that they're gonna do it is, even though they're doubling up on ads, which would make them more money, um, their share. But yes, so streamers are they're gonna hurt in that area, right, from 70 to 50. And then they're also considering introducing multiple pay tiers with different criteria,
So pretty much like you pay more to watch
like
less ads.
like subscription services. Yeah, it's almost like a subscription service.
I mean, that's
They're,
pretty much what we was talking
create a
about.
problem,
Yeah.
create a problem, and then provide a
Yeah.
solution. That's all it is. That's all
That's
it
what
is.
YouTube did. You remember YouTube didn't, I think there was a point where YouTube didn't have ads. And then here's one, here's two.
Yep, yep,
Now, back to back ads. We're going to
yep,
harass you until you get on the paid tier.
yep. It's like a pre-roll, mid-roll, and then the end ads. But now like there's double ads, and then sometimes I'll get ads that are like 20 minutes long, like 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've
Yeah.
seen that, but like
Yeah.
it's really weird where like
It's like a mini
it's
documentary.
a full-on video like as an ad.
Yeah. If you don't hit that skip ad button, it's just going to play.
Yep.
I wonder how much something like that costs to run, like you're going to take up 20 minutes of somebody's time.
I don't know. It's interesting though. It's interesting. Like,
So let's think about it from the standpoint of if this ever blew up, I think it wouldn't make sense to just stay on any one platform. Like I wouldn't want to be unless they give you an insane deal.
right, then you have to look at it like from the perspective of like Joe Rogan, right? Joe
Yeah,
Rogan was originally on, I forget, was it YouTube or somewhere?
yeah,
I forget what he
YouTube.
started, and then Spotify was like, "Hey, come over here," and then they pulled them on over. They said, "Hey, you have an exclusivity deal for this long, we'll pay you this much." Okay, cool. I
I
think
think
at
he
that
got what,
point,
like 50 million
let me see.
when he went to Spotify.
Let's see, Spotify deal. Um, the deal that brought his podcast, 200 million.
200. Wow.
Hold on, just misinformation that Royal. Is that true? Joe Rogan experience. Spotify had purchased the entire content companies for less. Oh no, hold on. What is that true?
The deal that brought his podcast to Spotify said to be worth over 200 million. Oh wow. Okay.
Wow. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
that
crazy.
you You say, all right, cool. 200 million. You got to exclusively work on our platform. The only
Yeah,
issue that I would have with that is like if the platform is just bad,
yeah,
meaning that like
exactly.
if the performance was just not that great, like
Hmm.
it wasn't intuitive, like, and you want me to stream over here, like what's the likelihood? Like let me test the waters. Like what's the likelihood that my followers are gonna actually come over to this platform? Like
Yeah. I think in a way you gotta have the trade off of potentially tanking your brand and that huge lump sum of money. Like what lump sum of money is it worth to potentially, lose your brand? Say if like Spotify just went up in flames, nobody liked it. Joe Rogan still has $200 million, and at that point it's like, I don't need to work again. I don't need to do anything.
right,
So
doesn't matter,
at what figure would you say, okay, I'm signing the exclusivity deal?
man. Um, I mean,
Let
200
me
million
throw out
sounds nice.
let me throw out 5 million.
Like as low as like low, low, low. I mean,
Okay, so say normally you were generating maybe I'll say a million a year
uh-huh.
on this platform, whatever, and then
Hmm.
a company threw out five, okay, for 5 million lump sum, only stream over here,
How long?
10-year deal.
Damn, that's that's
I'm turning
that's
that
less
one
than
down.
that's less than yeah. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
5 million for 10 years. That's that's half a million a year, something like that, right? And then,
The only advantage of that is you're getting the money in a lump sum, like right now. Like, okay, we'll give it to you right now.
but I'm already making a million a year, right? I'm
Yeah,
already
I
making a
wouldn't
million
take
a
that.
year. Like by the time I get to my fifth year, you know,
So
I'm already
let's
making
say
more.
let's say 10 million.
If they can match what I make now, maybe yeah. I think that'd be pretty sick.
I
Because
think I'll probably have to get 20 because 10 is nice, but it's kind of like, what if your current thing now you can increase that? You know what I mean? Like you're on multiple platforms and you can increase your base.
you're gonna spend it all now. You're gonna take. I mean, do you expect to just get the 20 million and then just be done with it? Like just like in a week, okay, it's gone.
It's not gonna, like, 10 million to me is like it's a little too close to, what if you're making a million a year, you're already making more than you can reasonably spend unless
Hmm.
you're just going crazy.
Right.
So I kind of like the flexibility at that amount. You know what I mean? Like 10 million isn't going to significantly change my life in a lump sum over 1 million a year. You know what I mean? But 20 million is a little more significant, especially after taxes.
Yeah, I didn't consider taxes.
Because
Uh,
okay, after taxes, you're gonna have like 5 mil left, which is good, but to be stuck with one company, like to be forcibly, like contractually obligated to one company for like 10 years, I'm like, nah.
I'm curious what Joe Rogan's fan base is like. Like, did it hurt? Did it hurt him to just be? Uh, did it hurt him to be on that platform? Like
I
to
think to a
switch.
certain extent it did, like, because I think he's posting like small clips back on his YouTube channel again. So
Yeah.
to me that's kind of saying like, uh, my audience took a hit because I know I don't go over there.
Right.
If one of his clips used to pop up on YouTube, I might catch it, but I never go to Spotify.
That's the thing. I think like you're sacrificing your not just the money, right? You're not. It's not about the money. Like you're taking that hit as far as like your audience.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. It's a business at the end of the day.
yeah,
You're not just sitting in front of a microphone and talking for
yeah. He's doing it
30
for
minutes.
money, But yeah, we hit the 30-minute mark. I think it's a good place to end. What do you think, man?
Yeah, man.
We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.